What's going on, guys? It's your boy Rafiki Shmikla, the Sightless Savage, and I'm back again with the voice part of my series. So let's get started. Okay, so just like last time, we go to settings. You scroll down to, when I bloody find it, accessibility. And there you got voiceover, which we'll come back to. Spoken content, and you can do things like speech selections, speech screen, and then you've got the speech controller, which controls how fast you talk and stuff like that, which I normally leave off, just like the Zoom one. Highlight content I normally leave off because I don't need the what's being read highlighted, but I've left that on for the purposes of the video so you can see what's being done. And then there's also typing feedback and voice selection, which I will then come to later on. Let's just pull up a random news article. There's a Derek Chauvin one. No, maybe not. I think what I'll do is I'll try and find Sky News UK. Oh, bloody cookie policies. I don't care about. There's no reader on that one either. It's just easy. Blah blah. Right, this one's got a reader. So what I'm going to demonstrate at first is speech selection. So if I select something, as normal, you get copy, paste, blah, and then there's speak. So if you tap that...
Public reaction likely to determine Health Secretary's fate after photos emerge of embrace with aid, as Tories urge Boris Johnson to act.
So there you have it, that reads out everything. And as you can see, it's being highlighted as it's read. So again, there you have it, it's basically read everything that I selected. Now, with speech screen, it reads literally everything on the screen. So what you normally do is you swipe down from the top of the screen with 2 fingers, and then this happens.
No speakable content could be found on the screen.
Well, no speakable content, but again, let's not open an iBook because I don't want to infringe copyright. But as you're aware, I selected all this here. And that's all what got spoken on the last one. But if I bring up speech screen...
By Christopher Hope, Matt Hancock faces sack if affair becomes Barnard Castle moment. Public reaction likely to determine Health Secretary's fate after photos emerge of embrace with aid, as Tories urge Boris Johnson to act.
So again, that's read all of it. It's just read from top to bottom. And if it was in a book on iTunes, it'd actually read the book cover to cover. And like I said, I normally hide the speech controller, but when you speak screen... Let's see what it does on Google. Okay, I had to do a retake because it started spewing out my email. So...
All news, videos, images, maps, shopping, books, flights, search tools,
so
Sky
read
News.
across the
Derek
top.
Chauvin, former police officer who murdered George Floyd, jailed for 22.5 years 7 hours ago. The Guardian.
So
Written among missing
basically
Miami
what it'll
building
do is it'll
collapse.
scan
12
right
hours
across the
ago.
screen,
The Guardian.
and whatever's
PM
on it,
said test
it'll
and
get
trace
read
would be
out.
like whistling in the dark, says Cummings 9 hours ago. Daily Mail. Miami condo collapse. First victim is identified as
And
the Morrow
here,
boy.
you've got
15.
the speech
Rescued from the rubble
controller.
9 hours ago. Daily Express. Is the...
So I can pause playback of the speech. The good thing about the speech screen is it carries on. It remembers what you've got. So if I leave the app, I can set the speed to whatever I want. So
The NHS now
that's
charging
slower.
for
1.5.
COVID vaccine passports. Fact checked 10 hours ago. The Guardian. The truth is still out there. Internet shrugs at Pentagon's
I
UFO
can listen
findings
to
3
it
hours
a hell
ago.
of a lot faster than that. You used to be able to turn it up really high on the speech controller, but let's find out. Yeah, I don't usually do my homework on these things because I like them to be spontaneous, so... Speech controller... So opacity. Let's turn that up higher and see what happens.
Sky News. Malta says Britons without 2 jabs have to quarantine on arrival. After UK puts country on green travel list 14 hours ago. Wales Online. 3 dead and several injured after knife attack in German city 6 hours ago. Metro. Shocking footage shows tornado wreak havoc on streets of East London 6 hours ago. Daily Mail. England's COVID R rate stays flat amid signs outbreak is now slowing 16 hours ago. https://www.bbc.co.uk. News. Web results. Home. BBC News. Local news. 2nd and 3rd degree murder and manslaughter in April in a case that made global headlines and sparked protests. Video showed the white police officer had his knee on the neck of Mr. Speech selection man content 9 minutes while arresting him on the 25th of May. It wasn't the sentence many had hoped for. What change had started was the sentence many had hoped for. What change had started. Mr. Floyd was being arrested on suspicion of using a fake $20 note when he was handcuffed.
I can understand it that fast, believe it or not.
Mr. Floyd's girlfriend Courtney Ross told Sky News. I'm shocked that it wasn't the longest sentence, but it's the beginning. Please use Chrome browser for a more accessible video playing
And I
sentences.
like the Irish voice because when my phone plays up, having a male voice makes me really angry. And I like the sound of an Irish voice because it actually sounds like a voice. But not
He said the sentence was not based on emotional sympathy or on public opinion or an attempt to send messages, but he added, at the same time, I want to acknowledge the deep and tremendous pain that all families are feeling, especially the Floyd family. You have our sympathies.
Right, let's knock that on the head and turn the speech rate back down.
Speak selection reads selected content.
Okay. So that's basically all your speech in the native control of the app, apart from let's type hi. How? Like, you've got the selective predictions at the top if you hold down on them. Well, it's not working, but what it usually does is it usually speaks out each word. I think it doesn't. There's certain things that don't work properly on screen recordings, and this is one of them. I'll probably remake this video at some point when I have my main setup and I can demonstrate everything properly with my hands in front of it. But as I'm currently living in temporary accommodation, I can't do that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on voiceover. And basically, voiceover speaks items on the screen as normal. So you've got, again, there's another speech rate setting. You know, and it can also work with a braille display. So what will happen is it'll print out everything that it's reading, like on a braille display, which I'm hopefully going to apply for. Oh, there's some new features as well. Verbosity, audio, command, activities, rotor actions, typing. Oh, caption panel. So, let's give it a whirl.
VoiceOver on. Settings. Accessibility. Back button. VoiceOver on. Double tap to toggle setting.
Basically, as you've noticed, a black box has appeared around voiceover, and it said after the voiceover, button. And when it says button, that basically means that it's highlighted a button. If I want to, basically, the whole way the iPhone works changes when this is on. So if I swipe to the right...
VoiceOver speaks items on the screen. Tap once to select an item. Double tap to activate the selected item.
So as it's just said...
Learn more. Link VoiceOver practice button.
You double tap to select item. So if I double tap, it doesn't matter where I tap on the screen, even if let's say, I'm going to tap right where it says speech, underneath the speaking rate button. But because this black box is selected, everywhere on the touchscreen activates what's selected, so...
Practice voiceover gestures, commands and typing in this area. Select the done button in the top right corner and double tap to exit.
Okay, so...
One finger swipe down, next rotor item.
So one finger swipe down. Next rotor item. I'll explain that in a minute.
Two finger rotate clockwise. Next rotor.
So 2 finger rotate clockwise. Next rotor.
2 finger rotate clockwise. Next rotor. Touch. Speak item. 1 finger swipe down. 1 finger swipe up. Previous rotor item.
Again, swipe up. We'll go to the previous rotor item.
1 finger swipe. 3 finger triple tap. Toggle screen curtain.
And that turns screen curtain on.
1 finger swipe up. Previous rotor item. Undo. 3 finger triple tap. Toggle screen curtain. 3 finger triple tap. Copy. 1 finger swipe down. Next rotor item. Copy. Copy. 2 finger swipe down. Read all.
So 2 finger swipe down. Read
2
all.
finger swipe down. Read all. 2 finger swipe down. Read all.
So there are all your gestures,
Done.
what you can do. And you can practice
Voiceover.
those. I've
Double tap to
probably
toggle
not
setting.
covered all of them. But what she was talking about with the rotor,
Voiceover speaks items on the
if
screen.
you twist
Characters.
2 fingers around, like you're sort of twisting a knob on a washing machine,
Words. Speaking rate. Containers. Headings. Characters.
so like I said, if you swipe left and right, it
Voiceover
moves
tap
you
wants
up and
to
down the
voiceover
items.
speaks items on the screen.
But
Words.
if I set these rotors to words, I can read it word by swiping down, so...
Voiceover speaks items on the screen.
And that ding noise means it's at the end.
Double tap to activate the selected item. Double tap to activate the
So every time it was saying a word then, that was when it was flicking down.
speaking rate. Containers. Voiceover on. Double tap to toggle setting.
So that's the only container.
Headings.
Headings.
Speaking rate. Heading.
So that allows me to jump through headings. So you've got a heading,
Speaking rate, heading.
what's, they're selected.
Heading not found. Heading not found. Voiceover. Heading.
A voiceover's a heading at the top.
Characters.
Characters will spell out the individual spelling of each word.
Cap V. O. I. C. E. Echo. E. C. I. O. Oscar.
As you swipe down, it will
O.
say the phonetic
Oscar.
equivalent of the letter.
Speech. Braille. Button. Speech. Braille. Button. Voiceover recognition. Button. Set image description. Using on-device intelligence. Your iPhone will automatically improve the accessibility of apps, images and text. Voiceover recognition should not be relied upon in circumstances where using on-device intelligence. Your iPhone will automatically improve the accessibility of apps, images and text. Voiceover recognition should not be relied upon in circumstances where you could be harmed or injured, in high-risk situations, for navigation, or for the image
So
descriptions.
that'll automatically detect, because VoiceOver relies on the app developer, putting the captions on for VoiceOver. And it should be able to describe images.
Your iPhone will speak descriptions of images and apps and on the web. Screen recognition. Off. Button.
Screen
Your
recognition.
iPhone will automatically make apps more accessible by recognizing text recognition. On.
Text
Your iPhone will
recognition.
speak descriptions of text found in images. Feedback style. Play sound. Output options. Feedback style. Play sound. Button. Output options for voice. Feedback style. Output options for voiceover recognition. Feedback. Output options for voiceover recognition. Screen recognition. Rows 1 to 2 of 4. Rows 1
I've
to 4
never
of 4.
actually tried this because it's a new feature, so you're going to find out with me on this one.
Image descriptions. Image descriptions. Off. Image descriptions. Off. Double tap on. Selected. Speak. Play sound. Do nothing. Play sound. Selected. Speak. Your iPhone will speak descriptions of images and apps and on the web. Voiceover rec. Image descriptions. Your screen recognition. Off. Button.
Screen
Screen recognition. Off. Your iPhone will automatically improve the accessibility of apps that have no accessibility information, such as identifying the state of buttons or toggles, and by grouping related items together in other apps. Screen recognition can be accessed through the rotor. Apply to app. Your 0KB screen recognition. Off. On.
So I'm going to turn that on. Basically, what happens when you go into certain apps
voiceover,
on set for
voiceover, back button,
VoiceOver,
voiceover.
instead of
Verbosity,
reading
button,
verbosity,
button,
audio,
commands, button,
commands,
activities, button,
activities, sorry. It'll just say button, because it doesn't know
button,
what these
all
buttons
commands,
are
button.
unless they've got a caption on.
touch gestures, button.
So there's a list
one
of all
finger
the
double
touch
tap, activate,
gestures.
one finger single tap, speak item, dimmed. One finger double tap, activate, dimmed. One finger triple tap, perform long press, button. One finger quadruple tap, secondary activate, button. Two finger single tap. 2 fingers. 2 finger single tap. Toggle speech button. 2 finger double tap. Magic tap button. 2 finger triple tap. Show item chooser button.
So show item chooser, that's good. So what item chooser does,
Search field.
that literally
to
prints every button on the screen,
field.
regardless of how it's laid out.
Search field. 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 Double tap to edit. Search field is editing. Character mode. Insertion point at start. T. Tango.
So here's how it works with typing.
D. Delta. D. Delta. 4 H G H 0 H.
So basically what you do is you move your finger around the screen
Tango.
and then double tap on the letter to type, which is quite slow. There is an express way of doing it, but I'm not totally blind, so I don't need to do that.
Commands.
Let me just turn voiceover off.
Alert. Accessibility shortcuts. Voice control.
Okay, so I had to turn voiceover off a minute there, because obviously I don't use it very often. I only use it when, like, I only really use it when, like, I'm in situations where I have to read a lot of stuff. So commands again. Braille screen input. So that allows you to use the Braille display to control the phone. So the screen curtain is obviously, if you're registered blind, totally blind when you can't see, what's the point in having your screen on? Turn speech off for a minute because that was annoying. So 3 finger triple tap. Oh no, it's a quadruple tap, but that turns the screen curtain on, which dims the screen. I don't know whether that'll appear on the recording though. Ah, so I can actually change what the commands do. Ah, people detection. Wow. So there's actually loads of commands that you can use. Some of them, because I've not really been in... Wow, there's so many, and you can actually add custom commands. So you can actually add custom commands. And that's back tap, so that recognises taps on the back of your phone. I've got things set up for back tap, but I'm going to explain that in a later video when I can actually film what's going on. So, you know, so you've got handwriting, so... Again, there are more commands, which you can execute by different gestures. So that's basically audio description. I mean, voiceover, sorry. And you can set multiple voices. There's loads you can do on it, and I've not delved into it. I'll probably make a second video on voiceover because of some of the commands that I've gone over are basically new, and I've not used them. Like, this series is basically an overview of what the accessibility features do. for people who haven't seen it. Like, most blind people do already know this stuff, and it's more of a demonstration for sighted people. If you really want tutorials for blind people, and you want me to do a more in-depth, like, deep dive into everything, I will do. I'll do like a series on each one, but again, I'm only going to do that on request because I've got such a small subscriber base at the moment, at the time of recording this video. And again, you've got options for turning, audio description on. And to go home in voiceover, what you do, like, I'm not going to turn it back on because it's an absolute pain in the ass. I use my phone like normally because I remember where things are. So even if I can't see what the item on a menu is, I can just zoom in. I mean, I don't mind zooming in. I've got some limit. See, as you know, I've got large text on my phone. That isn't comfortable. Like, you're probably looking at this thinking, hang on, you only need it that big, but my face is inches from my phone. If I hold my phone at the most comfortable, like the way in this distance a normal person would, even that size text isn't big enough. I can read it now when it's like held in a normal level. The only reason I don't do that is because I don't want everybody reading my stuff over my shoulder. There's a lot of stuff that I can go through, though. And again, there's a reason I'm not like pre-scripting this. I don't like that sort of vibe. I like doing it spontaneously, and if there's a mistake, there's a mistake. I mean, I do clear out some things in editing, and I do often do retakes, but again, I like it to be spontaneous because then you get to see me go through the learning process. General, oh yeah, this is what I mean. Sometimes I get confused because accessibility used to be under general. So again, you've spoken content. See if there's anything else. Speech control, highlight content, typing feedback, voices, pronunciation. Pronunciation is basically where you put substitutions in if it's mispronouncing somebody's name. I don't really care. I grew up with every speech synthesizer, because I used to use screen readers on a laptop as well, which is basically what voiceover is. It's just a screen reader like Thunder, Zoom Text, NVDA, which is free for Windows, by the way. And again, the switch controller, which is for people like Stephen Hawking who've got motor neuron disease and have trouble. I'm not turning that on because that is a pain. And then you've got voice control. Again, that's actually something I'm going to do a video on because that's a really, really good accessibility feature. But I'll definitely be looking into a few more of these commands. What I will definitely do is do like a more in-depth look into voiceover. I mean, I know I didn't do it with Zoom, but there isn't really much to it. There's just different overlays of colour filters where you can invert the contrast and stuff like that. And again, the hand gestures are pretty self-explanatory. You swipe up with 1, 2 or 3 fingers. And then the rotary is kind of like when you pinch to zoom, instead of pinching in or out, you sort of flick your fingers left, like round in a circle with 2 fingers. But it is really useful for like when you have to page through loads and loads of stuff. Like say if you're reading a massive article, instead of having it speak the screen. Well, I mean, I used to rely on voiceover a lot, but that's the reason, like, I've sort of moved away from it once Apple launched Speak Screen. That was basically pretty much the beginning of the end of me using voiceover, because before Speak Screen, I'd have to turn voiceover on and off all the time. And what I need to do, actually, is I need to re-add it to my accessibility shortcut, because turning it on and off once it's on is a pain if you've not got it in your accessibility shortcut. So to actually, I'll just do it quickly. No, not guided accessibility shortcut. magnifiers. So these are just like things like voiceover. Let's put that on there. So now I can turn voiceover on anywhere.
Voice control. Voice control.
Voiceover on. Settings.
So what you just saw then, I long pressed on voice control and it spoke it out. And that's what happens, what before when I said it didn't work when we were typing, that's what happens. So if you select the predictive text. Yeah, so basically what I was saying, if you select the predictive text, it literally just like reads it out like you saw there. But basically, yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, let's see if this image recognition thing works. So if I turn voiceover back on, I've never tried this before, so.
Voiceover on. Safari. Derek Chauvin held his knee on Mr. Floyd's. Saturday the 26th of June, 2021. 3:38. UK. Suggested commands. Bullet repeat less than count greater than times. Bullet open 3. Saturday the 26th of June, 2020. At Journo Kiwi. Saturday the 20th. Please use Chrome browser for a more accessible video player. Moment. Play video. Page 2 of 11. Derek Chauvin sentenced to 22.5 years. Play video. Page 2 of 11.
I don't know how to get
Saturday
that working, but I'll have to look into that.
3:38.
I'll
UK.
probably do a little short video explaining the image recognition because it's quite a new feature. And I don't know whether the dependencies have finished downloading for it, so I'll be back with another one on that, I suppose. Well, I mean, I've demonstrated the basics of voiceover. So if you are interested from family member, like who's just gone blind or whatever, there are courses if you get in contact with Henshaws for the blind. I'll leave a link in the description. And that's me over and out for tonight. Well, early morning. I've been doing this all night now. See you all soon. Well, hear you all soon.
Screen recording in progress.